the funding round with venture capitalists. The money came in. I was operating payroll. I had hired employees. Life goes on. Fast forward to early 2021. So about a year later, we get a call from Chase that we have days to get out and that we were being debanked. We have no bank account. They're closing our account, get all the money out, and never talk to you again. And we tried to ask why. No answer. No answer. Unclear. Everyone was just like, well, my boss's boss. Well, you're going to have to talk to this guy. It was we didn't do anything wrong. They didn't tell us for any specific reason. It wasn't a specific transaction they were concerned about. They just said, listen, you've got a few days to get out and get off our platform. We can't tell you why, but we will never talk to you again. I was in El Salvador. Working with Kelly. I was talking to the government there about Bitcoin. We were working on Bitcoin adoption. And I got a call from an employee saying, we cannot process payroll in a few days. We have employees, people that need to pay rent, buy groceries, run their family. And we have nowhere to put our money. Nobody will open us a bank account. We don't U.S. banking system. Multiple times in my family. And I'm going to check my phone one more time to see if, so anyway, Operation Choke Point is extremely real. I'm going to share one more tweet here. This is from David Marcus. David, I consider David a friend, great guy. Had a chance to hang out with him a bunch. We've talked on and off for years now. He's great. He's the founder of LightSpark. So if you guys don't know, LightSpark is a Lightning Network service provider. As far as I'm concerned, I can't speak quite to their products because I'm not a customer, but as far as I'm concerned, great products, great guy. Before David founded LightSpark, he actually was at Meta, and he was part. It is absolutely mad. And the one thing I didn't mention is, listen, if President Biden is pardoning his son, who's committed how many ever heinous crimes, we are pardoning Ross on day one. Let me make something extremely clear. Strategizing on how to bail out the United States of America with Bitcoin, how to back our future promises, how to stabilize our debt, the fact that we have active senators that are writing bills, trying to pass them into law using Bitcoin to strengthen this country in our biggest problem, which is the very fiscal spending and to me, not to me. Okay, we are 40 minutes in, and I've got one last topic that I really wanted to cover that I will share my screen. How about the production of this live stream? You know, I'm just trying to please the people, to please Bitcoiners. Hopefully this is working. Okay. I love that all of these are just links to Twitter. It's so funny. Okay, listen. The topic I wanted to cover is Jason Calacanis talking to Saylor. Supposedly, the guy is saying that Saylor is irresponsible. I'm paraphrasing, but not by a lot, that he's kind of a moron and acting really like irresponsibly to the general public, and that businesses should not be capitalized on Bitcoin. I just wanted to say a few remarks on this. Acclaimed talking heads that are experts supposedly in things they know nothing about, and start listening to real proof of work and real value. Michael Saylor has taken his business that was worth $500 million 4 years ago, and he's turned it into a $100 billion corporation in 4 years, in 1,000 days, or whatever the math is on that, 1,200 days. That's real proof of work. That's like eating a real ribeye. That's like using real Bitcoins. Right? So that, like, my take on this is I think there's a broad trend of like distrust in media, distrust in diet, distrust in government, distrust in central banks, and a reversion to real. How do I live my life? I eat steak, I eat eggs, I store my money in Bitcoins, I lift heavy things, I go on runs. I wake up, I study nature, I immerse myself in the real world. I work hard. I try and provide value for people. I store that value in Bitcoins. I eat real whole foods. My diet consists of like 5 ingredients. It's absolutely insane. Like, bro, what $100 billion company are you the CEO of, chairman of? Rhetorical question. 0. It's just la la land. It's like, on what planet do we think that guy is more of an expert than Michael Saylor on Bitcoin? It's bizarre. It's like Bizarro land, but it's the same Bizarro land where it's like, yeah, I'm going to be really healthy and eat a Beyond Beef burger. What? Have you lost your mind? Anyway, I digress. Okay. We are almost an hour in. And those are the 3 main topics I wanted to rant about. My throat hurts a little bit. What do you guys think? Should we do questions? Let me ping Dylan. He's lurking in the chat on everything. The Apple Card even gives you 1% cashback minimum on everything, 1 to 3%. And so when we thought about it, we were like, well, we just do the bill pay product and let everyone else do the card and give the rewards. And I'm going to swipe these credit cards that are giving me 1, 2, 3% in rewards. I take those rewards, I buy Bitcoin, and then Strike will just pay the bills from Bitcoin. So there's no rewards, but we also don't charge you to have the product. It's a free product. And so my advice, and I'll make a video showing you guys how I use Strike and everything. That'll come out later this week when we launch the bill pay. And I just use the cards that give me the most rewards. I don't think none of our customers, like, listen, Cash App serves people that like can't get, a Chase credit card and stuff like that. We don't have those customers. All of our customers have Chase, have Amex, have blah, 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 blah. And so I'd say use the credit card that gives you in the United States. You could believe in Switzerland. You could store it yourself and build a safe of your own. My suggestion is to think of a seed phrase as the highest form of property that you own and store that where you store other valuable belongings. And if you are living a life where you have nowhere to put valuable things, I think that is probably a problem. And you should invest in a place to store something of immense value. It's hard to build value and persist value if you cannot store it securely yourself. So that is my recommendation. Many people use safety deposit boxes. I know some folks that have created storage solutions all over the world. I know people that do it themselves. It is entirely up to you. All have pros and cons. Opinion, and I still think this bull run is going to be one of the greatest bull runs in the history of assets. Bitcoin included, but not like the greatest Bitcoin bull run ever. It might not, but a normal Bitcoin bull run, which to me puts Bitcoin at 250,000 to $1 million at some point next year. I've been saying that on the media. I've been telling everyone end of 2024, I was guessing around 100,000, 2025, 250,000 to $1 million. So far, I've been pretty accurate, but I think all assets, we're living in an era of currency debasement, of weaker dollar. There's a lot of losses that need to be realized all over the world. I'm not talking specifically America. Like China is in one of the biggest bubbles in the history of humanity in the real estate bubble there. So that's my opinion. And I think Bitcoin could very easily like touch $1 million briefly and then crash all the way down to 250,000. And that would technically be like a 75%, 80% drawdown. but again, is from 1 million. Chance you die and the plane crashes, right? Would you rather be safe in a well-engineered airplane that gets you there whenever it gets you there, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever? Or do you want risk of death and get there faster? And he was like, well, I don't want to die. If it's life or death, I'll get there when I get there. 6 hours is fine. And I equated that to Bitcoin. I said, listen, Satoshi engineered a monetary system that works. It gets us there from point A to point B, and we get there safely. Okay. Now we can mess with it and try and make it a little faster or a little lighter or a little smart contractier, but we might die and we might ruin the best money we've ever invented as humans. And so my fear generally with Bitcoin is human intervention of it, is over-engineering, because people overvalue how important it would be for it to be marginally faster or marginally smart. Governments understood it, the people did. And very thankful for that, because at this point it's too late for anyone to have a controlling share. And we have Satoshi to thank for that. Can you explain everything goes to zero in BTC? Yes. I kind of did earlier, but listen, Bitcoin will go up forever because it's the hardest thing you can own. And hard is in reference to how hard it is to make more of it. Bitcoin is the only asset in the history of our species where no amount of demand can create more supply. If you contrast that against French fries at McDonald's, if everyone in the world wants French fries at McDonald's, McDonald's can take that demand and increase the supply of them and make sure everyone gets served a medium fry. If everyone in the world wants a new MacBook, Apple can increase the supply of MacBooks and make them and sell them to the world that everyone gets a MacBook. It's my Strike app. I can pay bills. So I spend on my credit cards. I get a bill every single month. Strike pays the bill. Strike pays my HOA. And it's just really that simple. So that's the reality of the situation. And also on Strike, I assume not everyone has no salary. So the reality of the situation is on Strike, you also can get your direct deposit, your paycheck, 100% in Bitcoin as well. You could slide like how much of your paycheck you want in Bitcoin versus cash. But the way I'm going to demo Strike be used once we launch Bill Pay is you set up your direct deposit into Strike, you convert it all into Bitcoin. There's just Bitcoin sitting in Strike. And then when it's time to pay bills, Strike auto converts the Bitcoin. It's madness. If Bitcoin is the ultimate asset and U.S. property faces debasement, is owning a home still worth it? Or should we rethink the need for property in a Bitcoin world? Listen, some people have different opinions on home ownership today. Like people think getting a mortgage or renting is better because you can buy more Bitcoin. I don't disagree with that. But just like generally, should society value property rights and home ownership? Absolutely. Like owning assets isn't a bad thing. You just need to be consuming them is the thing. So I own this hoodie. Technically, I'm short Bitcoin by owning this hoodie. The $20 this hoodie cost me could have went into sats.